You have asked for a word that reaches your heart, longing for something deeper than what the surface of each day has offered. I have drawn you here, not by chance, but by a quiet intention, a desire to speak to you about what you hide in that unreachable corner, where you imagine no one, not even I, can see. But you and I, we know the silent places of your soul. As you listen, questions might surface. Could this really be for me? Or is there someone else who needs this more? Whether you recognize yourself here or recall another who longs for hope, know this: there is a reason you are listening now, and turning away could mean missing an invitation your heart has waited for. The world teaches you to dive straight into worry the moment your eyes open, to let distractions rush in before you've even taken a full breath. But before anxiety finds its place, linger for a moment. Take notice of the light filtering through your window, of your hand over your chest, of the familiar sound of your own breath rising and falling. Each morning I invite you to begin not with fear or disappointment, but with gratitude for your family, your life, the chance to mend what has been strained. My mercy has covered you longer than you realize. I have not given you what you feared you deserved. My heart is large with forgiveness. I have never cast you aside. You remind yourself, sometimes with guilt, of commandments you neglected, of words spoken in anger, of untruths told, of moments you turned away. Yet I remind you, all fail and fall, but all may rise again. There is no sin invisible to me, yet there is none beyond my mercy. Whether the wound is something the world calls shameful or simply the hidden ache of bitterness, jealousy, or pride, know that the damage is real, but so is the possibility of restoration. Do not shrink from this conversation with me. Even now, let your next breath be a quiet confession, a hand extended toward my kindness. You may sense a stirring within, a still small voice prodding you to come closer, to receive my counsel and seek my presence with new urgency. What does seeking me mean? It means daring to believe that I will respond, even in silence. It means waiting with hope, not with restlessness. Come near today. Let truth meet you where you are now, not only in grand gestures, but in authentic moments of honesty. If you carry burdens too heavy for your soul, find someone trustworthy to share your heart with. Let words release the weight of regrets and anxieties, so that from now on, nothing impedes the peace and good purpose I prepare for you. Beloved, you have seen already how deeply I love you, how my spirit reaches to the secret rooms of your soul. There is another heart within your life that aches for this same comfort. Do not hoard these words. Share freely. In this, my love multiplies. I draw close when you give courage and hope where it is needed most. Here I remind you, I love you with all that I am. Good morning, my dear one. As the light grows and steadies in your room, settle into this moment. As you hear me, let your heart quieten. Let peace descend like the comfort of a gentle hand easing tension from your chest. In these words, let peace settle deeper still. Listen again if you must, for you will sense my nearness. Lean in, little one. You are not alone. If you remain with me, safety, true and lasting, will hold you. There is no need to stifle tears or resist your need for breathing space. With each sigh, your spirit confides more than your lips. I hear what is never voiced aloud. Allow my presence to soothe your anxious thoughts, brushing away sorrow until your soul is clothed in calm. You don't have to rush from my presence. There is no urgency that overrides this invitation. Stay long enough to let strength return, so when you step into the world again, you do so without fear. As you walk among the valleys, the deserts of disappointment, or the piercing shadows of doubt, you are never exposed or left at the mercy of fate. My unwavering care shelters you day and night. Feel it for yourself. My spirit wraps you in kindness, shields you from harm, steeps you in quiet resolve. Though the world brings trials, you will find within a stable trust, an unshakable identity rooted in who I say you are. Conviction runs stronger than your fears, a knowing that you will overcome, a promise that the history of pain breaks in this new day. I am working even now to extract old resentments, losses, self-accusations, those silent burdens you hardly recall until something brings them back. Their hold is fleeting. You will forget the shape of these shadows soon. You mean more to me than words can express. If you grasped even a little of your worth, joy would grow wild within you. So I am imparting to your heart a truth the world cannot uproot. You are mine. No disappointment or opposition will take this anchor from you. And as the day unfolds, write down what grace has made yours. The breath you inhale, the warmth of home, the nearness of friends, the food that graces your table. Even in seasons where blessings appear scarce, look closer. Small tokens of my favor abound, waiting for grateful eyes. You will begin to cherish what you once ignored. The tiniest evidences that hope is not lost and the future holds delight. Lift your gaze anew, let your hands stretch out not in frustration but in worship. Thank me for this time, this place, the ground you stand on, even if it feels uncertain. Each day will reveal reasons not only to endure but to rejoice and contend forward. I have given you the capacity to decide whether weariness will stay or if gladness will take root. Refuse the seed of doubt from those around you. Guard the brightness I am forming within. Your help comes from me, the unchanging one. My provision will saturate your spirit like spring rain, renewing mind and body, saturating you with peace that cannot be counterfeited nor stolen. As my joy floods your soul and laughter returns to your mouth, you'll dream new dreams, see with new eyes. Rest in my word and let it nourish your resolve. My spirit is here, guiding you closer to all you were made for. Doubt cannot dictate your story. Only my voice, steady, sure, can set your direction. Let yourself believe that everything changes as you yield yourself to my presence. You may have heard many declarations and fleeting promises, some genuine, others forged to manipulate or control. If questions arise, simply speak with me. My spirit will always console you and clarify what is true. Now, let this moment linger. Breathe, draw near, and let me fill you until the next steps become clear. You find yourself sitting in a quiet place, maybe at the edge of your bed or traveling through the familiar motions of your morning, wondering if the words you hear from me are for everyone but you. In the in-between of each deep breath and the soft light pressing through the window, you question whether your story matters, whether the hidden corners of your heart have been seen by the one who claims to know every star by name. I am here, attentive to every silent plea. My understanding of you is not filtered by your bravest face or the way you push forward through the fog. I see you when your courage flickers, when your prayers sound more like sighs than songs. And I call you mine, even when you struggle to claim me. Some days the ache of waiting or not knowing may catch you before your feet touch the floor, weaving its weight into your chest. As you reach out to me, not with perfect words but with honest longing, I gather every fragment of your hope. I have never been distant, and I do not calculate your worthiness by how much you accomplish or by the resilience you manage to show the world. In the hush of this moment, I ask you to notice my nearness. Feel your hands as they rest. Notice how each breath steadies your soul. I am shaping you, not for performance, but for deeper belonging with me. You are not behind or out of step. You wonder if you missed something along the way, if a choice made in haste, a harsh word, or an uncertain season might have routed your destiny beyond even my reach. Listen to me. Nothing is wasted, and no detour confuses the one who designed your path. I use even your delays, your longing, and your questions to recalibrate your heart toward home. I am not pacing with impatience, but staying close as your vision clears, gently convincing you that nothing about your story is accidental. If anxiety steals your focus and whispers every reason to dread the day ahead, invite me into that space. The shadows only seem overwhelming when you try to wrestle them alone. Instead, let my presence be the anchor that steadies your worried heart. Sometimes what you call delay is truly my mercy, allowing your roots to go deep, preparing you for fruit that lasts. Trust that unseen, even when you feel stuck. I am quietly organizing new beginnings. My plans for you do not expire or become irrelevant with time or fatigue. Notice what surrounds you now, the texture of your blanket, the coolness of the air, the hush that fills this room. These simple gifts are reminders that I see you, hear you, and choose you fresh each morning. Even as you struggle to see your own progress, I watch over you like a gardener, patient and delighted by every tiny shoot of trust that breaks through the soil. When gratitude feels distant, let it arise not from outcomes, but from my companionship. Let yourself whisper thanks for moments of comfort, for a single breath, for the gift of another day to know me. Those you love, those who burden your mind or sometimes break your heart, are enveloped in my care as well. I go ahead of you into your relationships and into each conversation, planting seeds of peace and wisdom where frustration or distance once ruled. Surrender your need to control, and hand me your fears for your family. Your prayers are not lost or ignored. Every time you mention their names, I am attentive, working in ways you cannot yet see, gently orchestrating redemption and restoration for each one. You worry about timing, about lost opportunities or doors that seem sealed tight. My child, I am not bound by your schedule or by the pressures you place upon yourself to keep up with others. I measure success not by speed, but by faithfulness and willingness. Rest, knowing that my purposes for you will unfold as surely as dawn over a quiet field. Be open to the possibility that what you see as delay is preparing you for something deeper, a confidence not rooted in change, but in my constant presence and steadying hand. In the hush, bring me your questions and uncertainties without fear of reprimand or disappointment. I am never surprised by your doubts. They do not repel me, but invite me closer. Bring your confusion, and let me remind you that you are not required to solve every puzzle to simply rest in my love. Place a hand over your heart if you wish, feeling its steady beat, a reminder that life courses through you because I delight in you. Let this day be marked not by striving, but by openness, trusting that I am nearer than your breath and more invested in your journey than you have ever dared imagine. You are not forgotten, not overlooked, not counted out. Even in silence, I am speaking kindness over your life. Let time unspool without fear. I am master of the hours and the seasons. When setbacks arrive or hope feels faint, listen again for the quiet assurance that you belong to me. My affirmation is not withdrawn during your struggles or waiting, but instead it grows louder. You are my beloved. I am for you, with you, and ahead of you, guiding each step into fullness, rest, and a future bright with possibility. In the gentle hush that fills the room, I draw near to your unspoken worries, the ones that wake with you before dawn or linger into the late hours when the world grows still. You have carried them quietly, sometimes thinking that if you do not speak them aloud, they might dissolve by morning. Yet I want you to know I see them all. Each anxious turn in your mind, every weight behind your smile, the tremor of uncertainty that comes as you face a new day. These concerns are not hidden from me, nor do they make you any less beloved. Even as you try to hold everything together, I am holding you. When you sit at the edge of your bed and pull the blanket tighter, or when you look out the window watching the city or countryside slowly brighten, I am with you. The ordinary moments, your footsteps crossing the familiar floor, the settling of your breath as you pour your morning drink, these are not as small as you think. In these moments, you might sense my presence if you let your heart become quiet enough to notice. You do not have to manufacture strength for me to take notice. I come to you as you rise, as you are. Your daily routines are places where my kindness seeks you out. I invite you to be honest with me here. Release the pressure to appear unshaken. It is not your perfection that draws me, but your willingness to let me into the honest places. As you rest your hand briefly over your heart, feel its steady beat. A quiet miracle I sustain every moment. Let the deep inhale that softens your chest remind you that I give breath not as a test, but as a continual gift. If you have felt alone in your striving, remember, I am not distant, waiting for you to impress me. I am near, drawing close to the real you. There are days when anxiety tries to define you, whispering that you must carry more than you can. These lies do not belong to you. The burdens that have grown heavy, concerns for your family, fear about what comes next, regret over what cannot be changed, none are too much for my care. I do not ask you to ignore reality, but to let me share the load. Let your questions arise. Will help come? Will things ever make sense? I hear them as invitations to step even closer. All along the journey I watch over you, not with a stern glare but an attentive, protective gaze. My watchfulness is not about keeping score. It is about seeing the small tremblings of your soul and answering with compassion. When you long for safe guidance, when you stand at a crossroads, unsure which way to turn, know that I am already at work, preparing clarity in the right moment. My timing is not hurried, but it is never absent. You are never left to wander alone. As light streams across the floor and touches your hands or face, let it remind you of my faithful presence. You are not forgotten in the shadows, nor lost beneath the weight of unsolved questions. Each morning arrives as a fresh sign of my mercies, tailored for you. When you feel overwhelmed, close your eyes for a breath and imagine my hand resting gently upon your head. Let it steady you, not to rush you, but to anchor you in the comfort that you are still mine. When disappointments echo louder than hope, I am not withdrawing. I am closer than your own thoughts. I have not misplaced the desires of your heart or overlooked the weary prayers you whispered in the dark. Even if outcomes look different than you planned, my purpose is to deepen your roots so that storms need not uproot you. There is a courage I am nurturing in you, one that grows not in the absence of challenges, but as you learn to draw from my life within you. My child, it is safe to relinquish your grasp, to place into my hands those outcomes you have tried to control. Surrender is not defeat, it is returning to the assurance that you are seen, known, and loved beyond comprehension. As you let your shoulders drop, feel the relief of not having to map every answer. My guidance will come in its season, quiet but certain, and I will reveal layers of strength and peace you did not know you carried. You are not defined by delay, nor by the things that feel unfinished. I am not waiting for you to perform a perfect life before I bless you with my nearness. Even if yesterday brought disappointment, today is a new invitation. Let me walk beside you through the unfolding hours. The relief you crave is not found in figuring everything out, but in allowing me to be enough for you here and now. As you stay present, the burdens that once crowded your heart will lose their power. My love, unchanging, will take their place. Let your spirit become still enough to receive the comfort I offer. It is not the absence of trouble, but the assurance that no trouble will separate you from me. When storms arise, I am not caught off guard nor surprised by your fear. Instead, I am the quiet center within the chaos, calling you to rest in my reliability. Continue to open the hidden parts of your day to me. You will discover that even in uncertainty, there is a steady peace flowing from my presence. Your identity is not found in the loudness of others' expectations or the silence of prayers not yet answered. Lift your gaze from the weariness that lines your thoughts. I am restoring hope in you, a hope rooted not in swift solutions, but in the unshakable truth that I am for you. Stay with me in these quiet spaces, trusting that I am shaping something beautiful even when all you see are small beginnings. This is how I love you, with patience for every faltering step, with delight in your sincere seeking, and with an endless well of mercy. Open your heart again, even if only with a whisper. I am already closer than you imagine, ready to meet you once more. There is a place within you where hope still flickers, even if you barely notice the glow. I know how weary you have grown waiting for answers that seem slow or distant, how the ache in your chest can sometimes feel heavier than words will admit. Look at me. Let your shoulders relax for a moment. Let your breath even out, right now, and sense the softening in your body as my presence covers you. When longing begins to feel like disappointment, when you wonder if you have been overlooked in a sea of urgent requests, remember, I never tire of your voice. Your hopes are not lost in the wind, nor are your silent desires dismissed. Every whispered prayer moves my heart. You've questioned whether you can really trust again, whether it's safe to hope after so many dashed expectations, so many doors that seemed to close before you could walk through them. I see behind your careful optimism the desire that longs to run freely but gets pulled back by the memory of pain. Listen to me. Your past does not have the authority to define your future. I am doing something new in you, tenderly nurturing strength beneath the surface that you will soon recognize. Breathe. Yes, right now. Let my peace fill the aching spaces, the ones that tell you it's too risky to believe for restoration. Feel that warmth in your chest? It is my nearness calling you deeper. What if you let go of the grip you've kept on the outcomes? What if, instead of rehearsing possible disappointments, you place your heart in my hands and allow me to surprise you? It begins with surrender, a gentle invitation, not a forceful demand. I am not angry with your caution, dear one. I honor the ways you have protected yourself. Yet I long to see you free from fear's constraints, unburdened by the need to script every scenario. There is a freedom available only when you trust me beyond your understanding. You are not missing the mark by feeling uncertain or afraid. Even the strongest have moments where their hands tremble, questioning if they can truly keep going. I do not love you less because you falter. Your value was never measured by the perfection of your journey, but by the simple fact that you are mine. My child, I am rebuilding the places inside you that life has worn thin. Even now, I am restoring what seemed shattered beyond repair. Do you sense the gentle rebuilding? the steady, intentional healing in your spirit? Stop for a moment and notice what's happening inside you as these words settle. Maybe there is a quiet ache softening, or an old lie losing its grip. I am at work there, removing layers of shame, speaking life into places where death tried to claim territory. You are emerging, not as someone remade in the image of trauma, but as one transformed by my relentless compassion. The more you yield, the more you discover I am safe, I am for you, not against you. This revelation will become a foundation. Soon you will stand on it with confidence. Some days you will wonder why the shifting feels so slow, why it seems as though everyone else is racing past while you learn to crawl again in trust. The process is not punishment, it is protection and preparation. What I am building in you requires a resilience that only grows through time with me. You are not falling behind. You are being refined for a glory that cannot be rushed. There is something I am anchoring in your soul that cannot be shaken when storms hit. Lean into this moment. Let anticipation stir, even if it trembles. For the parts of you still haunted by the failures and betrayals of the past, I speak a new word, redeemed. You are not the mistakes you made, nor the things that happened to you. My grace stands taller than your regret, covering every scar with purpose. It is not denial, but the holy rewriting of your story. My blood speaks louder than your shame, my love stronger than the accusations that taunt you late at night. Say this with me now. I am not who I was. I am being made new. As fear tries to press in, suggesting that trusting me will only lead to further loss, I remind you, I waste nothing, not even the tears no one else has seen. Lift your chin. I am turning sorrow into songs you have yet to sing. I am opening wells within you, reservoirs of hope that will overflow and bring life to places within and around you. The seed of faith, though small, is coming alive. You may not see the bloom yet, but the roots are growing strong and deep. Be still and let your heartbeat sync with mine. This journey is not isolated. Even as you walk this personal road, thousands have knelt at the crossroads you now face. I have been faithful every time, and you are no exception to my devotion. You are joining a movement not by accident, but by divine timing. You may feel alone at times, but you are surrounded by the unseen, allies in the spirit, a family of those who have chosen to believe when belief costs everything. The comfort you receive in this process is not just for you. It will spill over, healing others through your story. There will be a moment, perhaps later today or in the coming days, when clarity rushes in where confusion once reigned. You'll recognize my voice in the midst of noise, in kind words from a stranger, in unexpected peace during ordinary errands, in the sudden lightness as burdens lift. You'll know it's me because the shift will feel gentle yet unmistakable, like a dawn breaking after the stormiest night. Hold on to that expectation. Let it ignite something within you. Do you not know how fiercely I am working all things together for your ultimate good? Right now, you might feel exposed, admitting your need for healing. But vulnerability is not weakness, it is courageous surrender. There is beauty in choosing to be seen by the one who already knows every detail and loves you without hesitation. As you sit in this sacred discomfort, I assure you that you are shielded. I am your protector, never failing or leaving you unguarded. Rest in that certainty. My covering is enough. Release the urge to control every outcome, even for a heartbeat. Let go of the pressure to hold everything together. I am the one holding you. My care is more consistent than the rising and setting sun. My faithfulness is the ground beneath your feet. Allow me to carry the heaviness so that your heart can begin to dream again, without cynicism, without dread. The time is coming when laughter will ring from the very places you thought would always be silent. Trust is not a singular act, but a posture you return to, again and again. Each time you choose me, even with trembling, even if your hope is small, a new chapter begins to unfold. Lean in, beloved child. The fullness of joy I offer is not reserved for the unscarred, but for those who return, hands open and hearts honest, ready for renewal. There is much more for you to taste, touch, and see. The best of my presence is not behind, but ahead. Can you sense the invitation stirring in your spirit? The journey is far from over. In fact, it is only beginning to deepen. Let your heart stay open in this delicate hour, for I am drawing you further into my embrace. You have already come far, braving storms that sought to silence your hope. Yet even now, as you sense the shift under your feet, questions emerge. Can you truly let go of what you have clung to for so long? The unknown often feels sharp against your skin, but I remind you that my presence is the only certainty you need. Rest in the warmth now rising in your chest, that subtle pulse. Do you feel it? It is the beat of courage being reignited within you. I know the war waging within your mind, precious one. Old memories return, their edges jagged, trying to convince you that you are still trapped in yesterday's grief. But I say this, your sorrows are no longer your identity. Your failures, real or perceived, have become the very soil where I am planting new beginnings. Gently, I urge you to unclench your fists, to give me the pieces you don't know how to fix. This surrender is not weakness, it is an act of the greatest bravery. Imagine the peace waiting to flow when you relinquish control. I am standing beside you in the fragments and the longing. Pause. Place your hand upon your heart. Feel the echo of my voice inside you, steady and sure. You are surrounded by the light of my approval, even now, even before the outcome. Let every breath slow your racing thoughts, drawing into you the truth that you are not alone. Can you sense the hush that falls, the calm settling over your soul? That stillness is my love enveloping you. I want you to stay in this sacred pause a moment longer, for there is something I am releasing in the silence. You wonder, how will I know I am changing? What if nothing inside me shifts? I hear the tremor in those questions, little one. Your doubts are not hidden from me, but pay attention to the subtle turns. The heaviness in your spirit has begun to lighten, old anxieties loosening their grip even as you read these words. Often, transformation does not shout. It arrives gently, almost unnoticed, and soon you will wake with a new clarity framing your day. This is my promise. Within 3 mornings you will feel a weight lift, and the first rays of fresh hope will greet you. When it happens, you'll know it was my doing alone. Right now I am whispering truth into the places that ache for certainty. You have been told you are too broken, that your past marks you for endless struggle. Hear me instead. I call you redeemed. My mercy pours over every shattered story. My compassion rebuilds the ruins of your heart. The lie that you are unqualified has no place in my presence. My hands have reshaped you for holy purpose, and what once disqualified you is now evidence of my power at work within you. Do not shrink from your scars. They are seals of survival turning into testimonies of grace. Sometimes you resent the slowness of this process. You see others moving forward while you are planted in waiting, and disappointment gnaws. I am not blind to your frustration or your longing for signs. Every tear, every sigh is precious to me. Lift your gaze for a moment. See how I have carried you through nights darker than this. My timing is never late. I am orchestrating something deeper than your desire for speed. Those who trust me find strength rising from the very ground of delay. Breathe this in. My pace is always perfect for the shape of your soul. Now let me correct a lie that seeks to nest in your thinking. Some say redemption means your struggles will vanish, that faith ensures every prayer finds immediate answer. But I have not called you to ease, I have called you to intimacy. The transformation unfolding inside you is not about the absence of hardship, but the certainty of my nearness. Your greatest safety is not in separated troubles, but in the fierce assurance that nothing can remove you from my grasp. Remember this, beloved, you are shielded, not by circumstance, but by my unwavering hand. A gentle nudge. Can I have your disappointment? Not because it is unimportant, but because I want to show you how I turn sorrow into beauty. Offer it to me now, quietly. You do not have to understand what will grow from this. You simply have to trust my goodness. Each moment you risk hope again, you are realigning with the truest part of your design. I see the courage it takes to release old patterns, the will it costs to speak life over weary places. I honor your fight even when you think your strength is gone. Let this be our agreement. When the ache presses in, when the shadow of shame returns, do not run from me. Instead, run toward the warmth you sense now, my embrace. You are not an abandoned story, but a living testament to resilience and resurrection. Pause here. Feel how your breath is deeper, steadier. This is what healing begins to look like. It is quiet, patient, and astonishing in its persistence. Do you notice the longing awakening within you? That desire to be fully seen and fully loved. This is my echo in your spirit. I planted that hunger not to torment, but to draw you. You You are designed for more than hiding. You are shaped for communion. Every day, I am calling you into new depths of relationship, even when fear tells you to shut the door. What you most crave is already being given, my attentive, unwavering presence. Hold on to that promise. Tonight, as the world grows still, dare to believe again that you are chosen. Chosen not for perfection, but for transformation. Chosen in spite of your self-doubt in the very place you feel most unworthy. I am not looking for flawless vessels, but for hearts willing to trust me with their becoming. You are not who you were at the start of this journey, and tomorrow you will recognize even more of my image shining from within. Breathe. You are safe. There is so much more that I long to reveal. The season ahead is unlike anything you have experienced, and it will require new surrender and new strength. But you will not face it as an orphan. My nearness is your shield. My delight is your covering. My purpose is being established in you even as you sleep. Stay receptive, for I am not finished. The best of this story is still being written in the quiet. You may find yourself looking around and wondering if you are truly seen. Perhaps you feel suspended in a place between what was and what could be, your heart aching for a confirmation that your days hold purpose. In that quiet tension, know that I am intimately aware of every longing stirring in your soul. When your thoughts spiral through questions late at night about where you are, whether your prayers rise above the ceiling, if your efforts are making any difference, draw near to me. Let the gentle rhythm of your breath signal my constant presence, as real and close as the air filling your lungs. Even the smallest sigh you release is received by me, wrapped in my understanding. When you reach for something new, a project, a relationship, a vision, the echo of yesterday's disappointments may try to cast a shadow over your courage, but I am the one who holds your past and your future and does not call you by your failures. You are not the sum of missed opportunities or spoken regrets. Instead, I call you beloved, chosen, mine. I see your steady faithfulness in tasks no one else applauds. I notice your quiet acts of kindness, your patience with those around you, your resilience to begin again when things have not gone as planned. Sometimes it may seem as though your sacrifices vanish unseen, that your investment of heart and energy is overlooked by the world. But I assure you, every seed of goodness sown in secret is accounted for in my keeping. There is not one tear shed in honest prayer, not one whispered plea for guidance that I have not gathered close. Even in those moments when gratitude feels mechanical and hope feels thin, when you force a thank you through clenched teeth or weak lips, I receive it as a precious offering. Reflect on this as you move through the routine moments, the taste of water, the warmth of your blanket, the steady ticking of the clock reminding you that morning always comes after night. Lean into the trust that I am authoring a story for you that cannot be undone or replaced. My plans for you are not rigid scripts awaiting your perfection, but living invitations shaped by my love. If you feel the pressure to have every answer or make unerring choices, release that burden to me. I do not expect flawlessness. Instead, I delight in your honest willingness to try, to fail, and to let me carry you where your strength fails. In the slow unfolding of your journey, your willingness to listen for my voice, even in small decisions, opens doorways you cannot see today. You do not need to force outcomes or chase opportunities in desperation. When you fix your eyes on me, quieting the need to prove, defend, or compete, you create room for my peace to root itself deep within you. This peace does not depend on circumstances aligning or immediate results materializing. It grows in surrendered hearts, in those who accept that my timing is active even in apparent stillness. Let your hands rest for a moment. Sense my closeness in the soft pulse of your heartbeat, in the gentle silence surrounding you right now. If anxiety has become a constant hum in your thoughts, remember that I am not distant from your distress. You can bring your confusion, your questions, and even the frustration of not understanding. I do not rebuke you for your doubts. My kindness meets you right where you are, offering perspective where worry once held the stage. Let my words steady you, reminding you that you are not overlooked or outpaced, that your presence here is not an accident. In your relationships, where tension sometimes lingers unspoken, I am working beneath the surface. The conversations you replay in your mind, the misunderstandings you wish you could untangle, I see them all. Trust that I am guiding not only your path, but also the paths of those you love. The changes you hope for in your family and friendships are not beyond my reach. Self-giving love, practiced anew each day, will shape your home and your legacy far beyond what you can orchestrate on your own. If you have been holding tightly to control, fearing that surrender means loss, let me gently shift your perspective. I do not ask you to relinquish dreams or abandon your hopes, but to entrust them to hands far more capable than yours. When you let go of your need for certainty, you invite me to work in ways that surprise and delight you. The path may stretch longer than expected, yet within every waiting season I am shaping your character, refining your courage, and preparing you for doors that will open at just the right moment. Sometimes you will notice glimpses of my faithfulness in unexpected places. A kind word, a sudden sense of peace, a solution arriving when you felt out of options. Hold these moments close as reminders that I am attentive to every detail. Even on days drenched in weariness or longing, dare to trust that you are held fast in love that cannot fail. Take each next step with me, confident that your efforts are never wasted when placed in my hands. I am orchestrating beauty from your surrender, strength from your honesty, and impact from your daily yes to my guiding. Know that your identity is not tied to the pace of progress or the recognition you receive. I call you mine before you accomplish or impress. In seasons of rapid growth and in long stretches of hiddenness, your value remains unshaken. My affirmation is not withdrawn in your moments of fear, nor is my delight diminished by your struggles. The world's measures and timelines do not define your worth. My love secures your future beyond what you can now imagine. Keep your spirit open to my gentle whispers amid your daily routines. Sometimes I speak through a quiet urge to show compassion, a surprising insight while preparing a meal, or a sudden softness for someone you find difficult to love. As you choose to respond with humility and trust, my presence becomes increasingly tangible. Frame your day with small acts of intention, pausing to notice beauty, offering a simple prayer of gratitude, choosing patience when you are tempted by impatience. In these small responses, you participate in the work I am doing all around you and within you. I know how weariness can settle into your chest, how the slow ache of waiting sometimes seeps into each morning. You may glance at what others have accomplished, seeing them stride forward while you still linger on the threshold. This feeling is not hidden from me. I see each time your heart aches for what feels delayed or withheld. When the day starts, and you wonder if my promises are still alive for you, know that I have not turned my face away. Every longing, even the ones you whisper when no one is listening, has found its way into my hands. The world pressures you to hurry, to measure success by how much ground you've covered or how brightly your efforts shine. Yet not every field blooms at the same hour. My wisdom navigates you through seasons that seem uneventful on the surface, so deeper roots can be formed. You are not missing out, dear one. You are being carefully prepared. Some of the most important growth happens when no one, not even you, perceives it. Hold on to this. What appears as inactivity to the world is a time of hidden strengthening with me. Sometimes you struggle beneath the weight of expectations, your own or those placed upon you by others. Perhaps you have carried silent disappointment, asking why certain prayers have not unfolded as you hoped. Stay with me in these moments. Bring your discouragement, even your anger, to me. I am not offended by your honesty. I will turn gentle light on your sorrow, showing you that nothing you bring to me is wasted. The rawness you feel does not invalidate you. It invites my nearness in ways nothing else can. Recall moments when you sensed me most clearly. It was often not in the busy breakthroughs, but in the quiet spaces, the stilled rooms where you allowed yourself to breathe me in. Let your heart settle here again. You do not need to construct flawless prayers or find perfect words. Even in silence, you are heard. Let your breath be slow, your shoulders relax. As sunlight slips through the blinds or cool night air drifts in, these quiet details remind you of my attentive presence in your daily life. Many times you replay old mistakes, wondering if you've disqualified yourself from my goodness. I want you to see that I know your whole story, every detour and regret, and I draw no boundary lines against you. Instead, I invite you to release the weight you still carry. Lay down the need to prove your worthiness. You are not measured by your scars, but called forward by my love. In this room, with your hands open and mind racing, I am already at work restoring, renewing, and calling you forward. Trust that as you let go of timelines and all or nothing thinking, you make space for my peace to come. There's grace enough for every delay, for all the uncertain chapters. You haven't missed the window. The doors I open are never slammed shut by your hesitations or doubts. Each morning is new, not just in its opportunity, but in my mercies, poured out for you before you even lift your head from the pillow. Nothing about your journey takes me by surprise. Walk with me, even through uncertainty, and you will see how I shepherd you with patience. Pause now and notice your own body. Whether you sit by a window, stand with aching feet, or rest upon a couch, let yourself sense the steadiness of my presence that runs deeper than fleeting feelings. You do not need to manufacture certainty or strive to impress me. Simply being honest is enough. Whisper your truth to me, your fear of missing out, your hope that still clings, your gratitude for the smallest reprieve. Every piece is precious to me, and I gather them all gently. Even on days marked by fatigue or restlessness, you are invited to rest, not as a weakness, but as trust. I am not only with you in your striving, I delight in your quiet, hidden moments when you choose to lean in, to surrender what you cannot control. This posture, child, is the soil in which my greatest works are sown. You have not been forgotten. My gaze remains fixed upon you, not watching and waiting for your failure, but rejoicing, quietly, in every step you take toward me. The rhythm of your days may feel slow, but behind every ordinary moment, I am shaping a future that aligns with the hope I have spoken over you. When you feel anxiety brush against your thoughts or the urge to compare your journey with another, return to this truth. My timing is not in competition with the world's clock. My love for you is not diminished by delay. In waiting, your identity is revealed more clearly. You are beloved, never overlooked, always seen. So let the humble actions of today, a word of kindness, the steady work of your hands, a whispered prayer, be your offering. Let gratitude find a home in your heart, not because all is easy, but because you trust my commitment to you. Take another unhurried breath, dear one. My presence meets you in this space, whispering courage, sustaining you with hope that does not disappoint. I see you've come so far, carrying not only the burdens of your story, but also the growth I have been quietly working into your soul. Do you sense how different you are from the one who first listened? You may not see every transformation yet, but I have not missed a single moment of your awakening. My beloved, I tell you truly, you are undergoing a resurrection on the inside, even when the outer circumstances seem unchanged. This process has required your permission and your participation. You have chosen to stay open to my hand even when it cost comfort and certainty. Because of that courage, you are stepping into a dimension of strength you questioned you'd ever find. You are not who you were. A shift has already taken root within you. Even now, you might feel a tremor of doubt. It's natural. The enemy would try to whisper, nothing has changed. You're stuck repeating the same wounds. But I invite you to pause. Place your hand over your heart and breathe. Feel the evidence of my presence in the warmth beneath your skin. You have made space in places once walled off, and my spirit is settling deeper with every surrender. Right now, let your every breath be a reminder that you are not walking this road unaided. Your healing is not theory anymore. It is becoming flesh inside you. You ask if I am truly this involved, if I care about each ache, each question, each risk you take. Not only do I care, but I celebrate the smallest act of faith. When you chose hope instead of shutting down, when you spoke truth over your fears, when you forgave yet again, these moments echo throughout eternity. I want you to realize how much it matters that you kept showing up, that you fought discouragement with stubborn gratitude. Do you hear me? Your faithfulness has authored breakthroughs you have not yet seen. Don't underestimate the ripple of one ordinary day lived in trust. There is something powerful about the persistence you've shown. When you thought no one noticed, I was marking each attempt to get up, each weary yes you gave me. Your story is not written in the grand gestures alone. It is in every mundane sunrise when you resolved to try again. Every night you whispered, Lord, don't let go. My delight in you is fierce. Every misstep, every backtrack, every moment you doubted, none of it disqualified you. I am not ashamed of your struggle. You are covered. You are seen. You are moving forward even when you think you're standing still. Some days the fear returns with new disguises. Old lies knock at the doors you've only just unbolted. What if you slip back? What if none of this lasts? But hear me. Security is not built in your perfection, but in my unwavering nearness. Even when shame tries to pull you under, I anchor you in love that cannot fail. Today, I am healing places you thought would never be touched. Let me show you. Take another breath. Feel your chest rise and fall and recognize that you are safe in my embrace. This is not the summit, there is more glory ahead. The time is coming, sooner than you imagine, when your scars will be a testimony that sets others free. The pain you resented is transforming into wisdom, not for your sake alone, but for those I will send to you. I have commissioned you, not only to survive, but to become a carrier of hope in a world gasping for air. Your journey, with all its valleys and peaks, is equipping you to minister compassion born from intimacy. There is an anointing growing in the quiet places, the secret prayers, the tears that fell unseen. This sacred preparation is real, and you will recognize it in moments when you have exactly the words someone needs, the comfort only you could bring. You wonder if you're qualified, if your history discredits the call I've placed upon you. Stop measuring yourself by the standards of the wounded past. I am the one who marks you as chosen. Your value is not up for debate. I say you are anointed, set apart for a purpose that will outlast disappointment and defeat. Beloved child, do not shrink from the new identity I am forming in you. Agree with what I speak over your life. You are not an accident, you are my design brought to life with infinite care. Right now, as you hear my words, something in your spirit stirs. It feels like possibility, like a promise coming alive beneath the ashes of yesterday's hope. Let that stirring be your confirmation. This is not wishful thinking. My movement in your life will be tangible before this week ends. A conversation will cross your path, one that opens something you thought had closed forever. You'll know it's me because peace will settle where anxiety once held court. Prepare to be surprised by comfort in an ordinary moment. It will be a reminder that destiny is at work in the details. Thousands before you have faced this threshold, the moment between healing and commissioning, where comfort tries to lure you back into safety and purpose calls you forward. You are not alone. You are part of a movement I am orchestrating, a community of the awakened who dare to risk wholeness. Your vulnerability is your strength. The world needs the story you are living, unfinished as it may seem. The very hesitations you have, the shaky yes, the trembling step, those are the places where my power is made perfect. You are not behind. Trust my timing, which is always precise. If old loneliness tries to wrap itself around you, remember, I am the God who surrounds, who shields, who calls you mine. Even when you cannot feel the closeness you crave, I am still as near as your own breath. Place your hand over your heart again. Let my love soak through every barricade, every memory. You are not cut off. You are not invisible. Watch carefully. The next days will bring flashes of encouragement in unlikely places. Expect a song, a word, a smile from a stranger. Each one is strategically sent to sustain your faith. I am intentional in pursuing your heart. You may not see the full landscape that lies ahead, but I see it all. Before you ventured this path, I mapped the way and placed provision along every mile. Each yes you've whispered has unlocked doors only I could open. You are about to discover that even setbacks and delays were stages in your preparation. Beauty is bursting forth where disappointment tried to settle. The very things you thought disqualified, you will become the markers of your influence. Let that anticipation grow. Something extraordinary is rising within you, and I do not waste a single broken piece. Stay open, dear one. There is more transformation unfolding with every breath you take, every moment you dare to hope again. The awakening is not finished, and what I am birthing in you now will echo into eternity. There is still a mystery I am about to reveal, a depth of belonging you have only begun to sense. Are you ready to receive what only I can impart? Let your heart believe it. Beloved, you have carried the weight of unanswered questions, wondering why certain doors remained closed, why some prayers seem to linger on the horizon of hope without stepping into your reality. But even now, as air moves softly through your space and your soul aches for assurance, I am faithfully working in dimensions you cannot yet perceive. The strength I form within you during this waiting isn't wasted. Instead, it becomes the vessel through which new vision, deeper trust, and resilient hope are born. Each time you wonder if your quiet faithfulness matters, know that every unseen act, every whispered thank you, every day you choose me over your fears, these are seeds growing under my watchful gaze. When you wake with uncertainty pressing at your heart, or sit quietly with your head in your hands, I am not far from you. My nearness is not fleeting, neither is it determined by your circumstance or performance. Let the rhythm of your breath remind you of my spirit, sustaining, gentle, ever-present. Release the need to solve or fix what remains unfinished in your understanding. As sunlight crosses your window, or as streetlights blink awake during the evening, allow these gentle shifts to anchor your awareness of my steady hand. Precious one, I see how the hush of the morning or the solitude of the night can amplify your worries, making you question your place in my design. But I am not distant from your anxieties. Rather, I tune my ear to the highest joy and deepest ache within you. Through your moments of restlessness, I invite you to sink deeper into trust, where the urge for clarity gives way to a quiet confidence rooted in my unfailing love. You are not forgotten or set aside. Every part of your journey has drawn my attention. Where you have known the ache of delay, I am planting new patience and transforming it into wisdom. Sometimes before you even form the words, I hear the longing behind your sighs, the desire to belong, the hunger for purpose, the ache for assurance that you are not adrift in this life. If only you could see how I delight in you just as you are, before you achieve, before you understand, before you resolve every uncertainty. When shadows seem to lengthen and doubts flicker, I ask you to let my grace soak through, lifting off the heaviness of your self-judgment and replacing it with the warmth of my acceptance. Feel every heartbeat as a gentle reminder, you are mine. Let every ordinary routine be a sacred act of surrender. As you lace your shoes, pour a cup of coffee, fold laundry, or glance out the window, recognize my invitation to meet you there. These simple moments, often dismissed as unimportant, are where my spirit often whispers guidance and renews your courage. The world may celebrate dramatic transformation or accomplishment, but in my kingdom, the quiet yes, repeated faithfully amidst ordinary days, carries immeasurable worth. Remember, the aroma of gratitude rising from your daily life draws my presence close. Whenever you fear your future, doubting whether you are strong enough or wise enough for what comes next, come back to my voice. The path ahead is shaped more by your willingness to walk with me than by the clarity of your plans. My guidance emerges, not always as booming directives, but as a subtle nudge toward what is true, honorable, and life-giving. If frustration builds because you cannot see the whole picture at once, let that desire for control be gently replaced by a childlike readiness to trust my guidance one step at a time. I promise, you will never be left to wander aimlessly. You may have measured progress by what the world sees or celebrates, but my eyes look deeper. In the silent battles you have fought, in the kindness you extended when it went unnoticed, in the hope you guarded fiercely through disappointments, there, I am at work. Each act of perseverance in unseen places carries the weight of glory. When you're tempted to diminish your story because it doesn't look like another's, remember that I have prepared a path and purpose unique to you. My joy is found in partnering with you right where you are, messy and unresolved, yet always moving forward. And so as you breathe in the stillness of this moment, let your anxieties loosen their grip just a little more. My promises are not fragile, and neither is my commitment to you. Even in the silence, even in the waiting, I am singing over you a song of victory and hope. The process may be slower than you desire, but my pace protects you and ensures that nothing is rushed or wasted. Do not measure my attention by the swiftness of the outcome. Instead, let me anchor you in the assurance that I am crafting something beautiful, within and through you. The story is not finished, beloved. What feels like detour or delay is in truth the careful unfolding of a greater narrative where my presence sustains, transforms, and calls you onward. Even now, I am inviting you to lean in, clinging not to outcomes but to me. I am leading you, reshaping you, preparing you for far more than you know. With every heartbeat, trust that I have not lost sight of you. Your journey matters, and the horizon ahead remains filled with promise. My beloved, now the ache for closure rises in your spirit. I feel your anticipation, the hunger to see every promise fulfilled and every shadow dispelled. Pause for just a moment and notice the deep steadiness coursing through you, even if you thought fear would always have the last word. This is no accident. My nearness is not a gentle wish, but a relentless reality. When you question whether anything truly changed, be still and sense the newness stretching in every fiber of your being. What you carry to me, the quiet burdens, the unseen scars, they do not disqualify you. They are now the raw material for a wonder yet unfolding, a testimony the world cannot argue. You are standing on new ground, even as you tremble. This is holy ground. Let the shift in your breath remind you. I have not only met you in the furthest desert, I have drawn you back into the lushness of belonging. Feel it, the courage growing from your core outward, outpacing the voices of defeat that rehearsed your failure. My declaration over you is settled. My verdict is life, hope, and undeniable favor. Stop waiting for external proof that you are chosen. Your essence is the evidence. Your yes is the miracle. Lean into this transforming truth. I have called you my own, not because you performed, but because you surrendered. There is nothing passive about this surrender. It is the most powerful force in your story. As you exhale, do it as one newly named. Listen, the lies that prophesied doom over your tomorrows are silenced in this sacred hour. I am intercepting their momentum, breaking generational patterns, redeeming what seemed irrevocably lost. You will notice it. Unexpected gentleness with yourself, resilience where you only knew exhaustion, sudden sparks of joy in conversations you once avoided. Some will wonder what changed around you, but patiently watch. Soon they will see who awakened within you. I am fashioning a character in you that cannot be shaken by storms or praise, a strength that flows not from striving but from resting in my arms. Sometimes you will feel it as a steady warmth at your back, other times as a surge of clarity in the fog. Both are me, always. Now I speak to your hidden assignments and untapped influence. The world is not waiting for a version of you unscarred and untouched by suffering. It is desperate for the radiance that can only come from someone who has been shattered, healed, and sent. Your pain is not wasted currency. It is the very signpost of my glory repurposed. Remember, you did not come through this night for yourself alone. Your healing transmits hope like a beacon, and the ripple will reach more than you imagine. There will be moments this week where a word you speak, a glance you offer will become the turning point for another wanderer. You don't have to try harder. Walk as one who radiates restoration. The doubts will try to return, whispering that this encounter was fleeting, emotion-driven, or just wishful thinking. But here is evidence I give you. Before this day ends, you will feel peace descend during a completely ordinary moment, perhaps while washing dishes or driving in traffic. You'll know it's me because the anxiety you usually feel will suddenly ease, and you'll sense a whisper, "You are seen." When it happens, remember this moment and anchor yourself in the certainty that you are not chasing after love, you are living from it. I have marked you for joy. Look not to the mountain of unfinished tasks or the judgments that echo from others. My delight in you is not measured by progress, but by partnership. Even when you falter, I hold nothing back. Grace covers the day's regrets and wraps the unknowns of tomorrow. Breathe, dear one. Let yourself unclench from the pressure to manufacture perfection. I am not next to you with a scorecard. I am before you, clearing the stones from your path, and behind you, wiping the dust from your wounds. I am with you. I am your constant. If you ever feel lost again, remember the sacred practices we began here. Place your hand over your heart whenever doubt surges, just as you did before. Invite my presence with the simplest breath. Declare softly or out loud, I am beloved, I am chosen, I am guided. These are not empty slogans, but the living story I am writing with and through you. When you sense resistance creeping in, pause and recall the journey. The valley was real, the tears were valid, but my hand never left yours for a single heartbeat. Some days the soil will feel hard again, but seeds sown in faith always bear fruit in due time. I waste nothing, not even delay. Look for the clues of resurrection all around, in the laughter that surprises you after sorrow, in the door that opens where you once found a wall, in the face of a friend who suddenly understands your pain. This is how glory unfolds, not as fireworks, but as steady illumination. Some breakthroughs will be subtle, an appetite for beauty where apathy once reigned, a willingness to hope even when circumstances resist. Trust this process. Trust the one who designed you for such unfolding. If you notice tears forming right now, do not wipe them away too quickly. They are cleansing rivers, evidence that the old things are giving way to the new. You may wonder if the world will recognize who you are becoming. That is not your burden to carry. I fashion legacies without seeking the approval of crowds. Your obedience in the hidden place is precious in my sight. Remember the multitude who have walked before you, whose silent yes changed countless destinies. You are now part of that movement, a secret yet unstoppable force of transformation on this earth. When you feel insignificant, Recall that the smallest acts drenched in my love become seeds of revolutions no eye may ever witness until eternity. Your significance has never rested on what others see, but on who you are when only my eyes behold you. Today I commission you, not for a task that depletes you, but for a life that multiplies healing. Walk gentle among the hurting, bold against the voices of shame, devoted to the earliest inklings of purpose stirring in your chest. This is not a finish line. It is the opening of a new chapter. I have crowned you with mercy, armed you with compassion, and filled your lungs with hope. Carry my kindness into every encounter. Let your steps be peace. Let your words lift burdens. You are my ambassador, chosen, restored, unleashed. No matter how the night presses, I will be your morning. No matter how many times your knees buckle, I will lift your head. The fire that once threatened to consume you now illuminates your path. You are my testimony, alive and unquenchable. There is still more to discover, more to give, more of me waiting in the ordinary rhythms of your days. I am not finished with you. I never will be. Amen. If this word stirred something deep within you, stay connected to these daily reminders of my faithfulness. Press that button now, not for content, but for communion. I will meet you here tomorrow, speaking life again into the places that need it most.